Greetings, my name is JC from the Gamer's Gaiden, and today I'm going to be doing something a little special. I'm going to be opening this game up. So Metal Storm is a Nintendo game that came out in '91 in North America that was kind of a silent hit and also a game that a lot of people consider sort of a hidden gem. I never actually played the game until around college, whenever I played it very limitingly, and whenever I dabbled with emulators more in high school for the first time, I might have played it then, but I don't recall ever actually playing this game. So I've never really given this game much of my time, and I thought it was really cool that Castlemania Games, I'm in no way affiliated with this company, although they have done some really cool re-releases because this is by Retrobit, which is sold on their Castlemania's storefront. But yeah, the game was originally developed by IREM and Tamtex, I think. IREM being the publisher. They're known for their shmups, basically, and this is the side-scrolling game that you're in a mech suit and it's kind of like a run and gun game, has some elements of like auto-scrolling on some of the levels, if I recall correctly. I don't know, it's been a really long time. I'm super excited to actually sit down and put this into my AVS and give it another shot. But there should be a figure in here, and let's see, the cart, which I think this one should be blue, poster, different like booklets and stuff like that. I think there's like a color art book. And yeah, you can get just the non-collector's edition. I think it's like 65 Canadian, and the collector's edition was only about 110 Canadian or something like that. So you can convert that to your own currency or go to the website and find out how much it is if it's still in stock. Yeah, so without further ado, let's open this thing up. Alright, so hopefully this is positioned in a way that is easy for everybody to see, but the packaging has got the mech guy on the front right here. It's got a really nice slip cover, the contents listed on the back. I think there's a huge glare on it, but it doesn't really matter. So let's grab the knife and get this opened. Figure out what's inside. So we'll get some gameplay footage in here once I get it plugged into the AVS. Just open that up. I didn't know it came in a slipcover. The actual ad for it on their website just shows like this with a really cool embossed mech right there. It's the main guy that you play as. It's a really high quality box. Got a slip here, keep sort of in place. Alright, so let's look at the contents. Let's look at this first. So we've got a Metal Storm button right here. That's pretty cool. I'll put that on my shoulder bag. And the Metal Storm mech, he looks really awesome. That's what he looks like in there. I probably will not open this. So, and there's some information about the game in the back, on the back of that right there. But yeah, let's try and get really up close. Is that focused? Yeah, that's what he looks like right there. We'll put that in the display case. He's really, really cool. Retrobit does really awesome stuff. Again, I'm not endorsed by them. It's just a really good company. Okay, so it looks like all this stuff is in the bottom. We've got an envelope here for Metal Storm. There is some cards. Oh, so I have number 43 of 3000 of the blue limited print run. That's pretty cool. And there's 2 postcard here, and that's the second postcard. And then we have the game in the bottom here, and the game, that's cool, it's sealed. That's the case. I believe this looks very similar to the original case from what I've seen of pictures online, except for this is a metallic, like silver and so is the logo on the side. I'm really impressed with this box, actually. And we've got some screenshots there. So yeah, like those screens here, that actually has like mimicked parallax scrolling whenever you're moving around. Everything sort of moves with you. There's some static screens that don't have it. But yeah, let's open up the game. Put that over there for a second. I'm gonna put these certs back in here so that they don't get broken. Okay, so let's try and figure out how to cut this without actually cutting the box. Okay, there we go. That should do it. I'm surprised the IRM is the only company that's shown on here, considering it's developed by somebody else, but I don't know much about Tamtex, I think it is. They might be a subsidiary of IRM. I know who IRM is. I have some Famicom games by IRM, some good shoot-em-ups. Okay, it feels like harder cardstock than an original Nintendo, which is nice. This is not coming out nicely. It's kind of bending. That's really unfortunate. Okay, so grab that out there. Okay, there's styrofoam piece in the bottom. It's just a box. Okay, so let's look at the game first. We have a nice reproductions sleeve cover right there, and there's the case of it. I'm really curious to see what this looks like inside. I might open it and show you, but the coloring of the circuit board looks normal. I don't think this has a battery in it, but yeah, that's what the case looks like. It kind of looks really plasticky in comparison. Oh, there's some, I did not do that. There's a little scratch up here. More plasticky than like an original Nintendo. The Nintendo, maybe it's because it's blue, but I feel like it's less glossy, more matte. So let's put that back in there. And the bottom of this is a little, that's a little gripe, but this is lifted naturally. Looks like we have the poster, and I think that's the manual. I thought there was an art book in here, but I guess I was wrong. I must have been thinking of the postcards, the art postcards. This is a nice thick map, kind of like a map that you'd expect from a newer box set of like D&D or Shadowrun or something. And that's the full picture on the one side in Japanese, and I guess it's Japanese and English, but and that's the other side. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to plug this thing in and get some footage, and I'll be back with a little bit of a review after I've played it for a little bit. Actually, before I do that, oh wow, this manual is really thick, nice cardstock, and it's full color, so that's really nice. The whole thing is nice in color, and yeah, that was another feature of the game where you had like magnetic feet, and you could basically change your orientation to the roof, if I understand correctly. Like I said, I've played this game a handful of times, and it was like 15 years ago. But yeah, cool. Looks just like a normal manual. There's Japanese and English in here, so I'm assuming if any Japanese people bought this, I don't know how they would play it. They would have to have like some sort of converter, but yeah. Let's get on with it. So I just finished playing the game for maybe 30 or 40 minutes or something like that. It's pretty fun, yeah. Looks like all of the levels actually have, at least in the first 4 levels, I made it to 4, 2 and the boss of it, but haven't figured out what to do yet. Made it there twice, and I gotta figure out his pattern. But each of the levels seem to have the interesting parallax scrolling, which is kind of cool. And the interesting thing about the game is I find the controls kind of interesting. You can have one of the 3 different power-ups, and you can get like additional hit and stuff like that. I think the shield is super useful, but the extra power weapon is probably just the most useful because the enemies just die so much quicker with it instead of your normal fire shot. But yeah, so I'll definitely give this game more of a chance. It has a password feature, so I'll be able to pick up right where I left off in level 4, and I'm looking forward to playing through the game. The other thing I wanted to say is that the controls are kind of interesting because you have to press the opposite button. Like if you're on the bottom ground, you have to hit up and jump, and then you basically revert, and you can kind of also jump and revert at the same time. So you like jump, revert. And just because there's no diagonal movement, it's a little weird with the firing and doing that at the same time. If it was on Super Nintendo, the controls would probably be a little bit tighter, I would imagine. But hey, it's a pretty good rendition of that type of mechanic, because I haven't seen too many games with gravity boots mechanic. There's some of them, but not too many of them. Anyway, yeah, I'm pretty happy with the purchase. I'm glad I didn't have to shell out the full amount for the original. I probably will never do that. I wouldn't. I didn't get the impression that the game was worth that much money, but you know, $60 on the reproduction cartridge for the one from Retrobit, I think that's definitely worth it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, help us out by liking, and yeah, if you're new around here, be sure to subscribe. We release a podcast every Wednesday, and shorter segmented videos like this on Mondays and Fridays. We'll see you in the next video.